They hadn't seen each other for more than 30 years. Many Christmases ago, she and her daughter had a terrible fight, and the daughter left yelling that she never wanted to see her mother again. But every Christmas, she secretly wished that her daughter would call, but she never did. Finally, the woman decided to take matters into her own hands. The internet made it easy to find her daughter. She was in LA working as a physician. She thought that the 1,000-mile drive from Spokane, Washington would be the hardest part of the journey. In fact, it turned out to be the easiest. The most difficult was the last 100 feet, knocking on her daughter's front door. What if she wouldn't see her? What if the daughter slammed the door in her face? The house was decorated with bright shining lights, and she paced back and forth on the sidewalk a dozen times before she finally had the courage to walk up and knock on the door. Now, this story has two endings. It has the happy, It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street, ending where the daughter opens the door, takes her mother in her arms, and with tears and a catch in her throat, calls to her husband and children, "My mother has come for Christmas." They are reconciled one to another. Then there's the other version, where the daughter slams the door in the mother's face, leaving her alone and friendless in a strange city on Christmas Eve. Unsure of where to go or what to do, she remains estranged from her daughter. The real story of Christmas is like this. Two different versions. There's the nativity story with Joseph and Mary, the angels and shepherds. But the real story is the story which John tells in our gospel lesson this morning. The story about when God became human. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Thus the Word created the universe, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, all creatures and humanity. Then the world became flesh and made his dwelling among us. Quite simply, John tells us that the Word was both God and Jesus. God became human in Jesus, and it's essential that we understand this, because unless we understand that Jesus the infant and Jesus the man is really God in human form, then the rest of the story makes no sense. So God became human in Jesus, and God knows what it is like for humans to live, to suffer, and to die. And I think that that is what Christmas is all about, reconciliation with God. We don't really know why God sent Jesus when he did. Perhaps mankind had turned their backs on God once too often, ignoring his laws and doing their own thing. Perhaps he sent his prophets to preach his word so the people would see the error of their ways. And he gave them the 10 Commandments thinking that they would return to him, but they didn't. So what was God to do? Was he annoyed, disappointed, angry? We really don't know. What we do know is that God marched into Jerusalem and cried out to the world, "Here I am. If you seek reconciliation, then come and follow me. Some accepted Jesus and others rejected him. Some of the most religious people failed to recognize him, and John writes, he came to what was his own, and his own people didn't accept him. Yet others accepted Jesus, and those, John says, to all who received him and believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God. Those who accepted him were reconciled and became a part of God's kingdom. Today we face the same choices, for Jesus still reaches out to us as he did 2,000 years ago. Revelations 3:20 tells us that Jesus stands at the door knocking, waiting for us to open the door and allow him to enter. And that is the choice that we have. Do we ignore the knocking, or do we answer the door and allow Christ to enter into our lives? That first Christmas, God made the journey from the divide to the human, from an all-powerful being to a tiny, vulnerable infant. And he did it because he wanted a reconciliation with you and with me and with all God's children. In the end, some will recognize and accept him. Some simply will not. So ask yourselves, which ending will you choose for your own story? Amen.